How does one survive 60 days without sunlight? How does one find warmth when everything around seems frozen? Even time itself. When winter descends on Yakutia, daylight vanishes like a dream fading at dawn. For nearly 60 days, the sun never rises above the horizon. Only a faint blue glow touches the sky for a few hours. Then darkness returns. In these months, life slows to the rhythm of shadows and snow. The people of Oymyakon call this time the Great Silence. Electric lamps burn almost all day. Frost creeps along window edges like veins of crystal. The creak of the wooden walls, the howl of distant dogs, and the moan of the wind, these are the sounds of life here. For Anfisa, this darkness has been a companion for decades. Since her husband, Pavel, passed away in a mining accident 10 years ago, she has lived alone, tending to her animals, chopping wood, and keeping her stove alive. Her cabin stands surrounded by frost-bitten birch trees, each branch heavy with snow, like the bowed shoulders of old memory. At dawn, though there is no dawn, Anfisa lights her stove. The small iron box in her home is her only source of heat. Her breath freezes before it leaves her lips. Her eyelashes turn to frost. It takes her an hour just to collect ice from the nearby river, because the water there never truly flows. It hides, trapped under a crust 2 meters thick. When asked once why she never left, she simply smiled and said, "You can leave Yakutia, but Yakutia never leaves you." In the long nights, time blurs. One day feels like the next. Anfisa marks her calendar by candlelight, counting the days until the sun will return. Each evening, she listens to the radio, the only voice that connects her to the rest of the world. There is a strange beauty in this solitude. The stars appear sharper, closer, as if they too are trapped in the frozen air. The moon casts silver over the snow, painting shadows that move like ghosts of the forest. Inside, the cabin glows warm and golden, a fragile pocket of life against the vast blue cold. But there are moments when loneliness presses in like the ice on her windows. She sometimes sets a second bowl at her table for her husband, a gesture, not of sadness, but remembrance. In Yakutia, humans are not the masters of nature. They are its guests. Life here bends to the will of frost. Dogs sleep in piles, wrapped around one another like embers in the snow. Nature has no mercy, but it rewards respect. Those who live here learn to listen to it, not fight it. Though villages may be miles apart, the Yakut people are bound by shared endurance. Neighbors check on one another through the radio network, or by leaving gifts of wood and bread at each other's doors. When a blizzard cuts off the road, which happens often, they rely on tradition more than technology. Candles, firewood, salt, and dried fish are stored not for comfort, but for survival. In Oymyakon, even children walk to school at 50 degrees C. Their eyelashes freeze and scarves turn to ice, yet they laugh as they go. To them, this is not extreme. It is simply life. In her youth, Anfisa worked at the reindeer station. Every morning she steps outside and whispers a small prayer, a ritual of gratitude for another day of warmth, another breath of life. Her life may seem harsh, even heartbreaking, but to her, it is sacred because it is real. On the 61st day, a faint glow touches the horizon. At first, it is barely visible, a soft pink behind the mountains. But to Anfisa, it feels like the first sunrise of her entire life. She walks outside, her boots crunching through the snow. The air sparkles with ice crystals, turning the world into a field of diamonds. And there it is, the edge of the sun, breaking through the endless night. She closes her eyes and feels the light on her face. For a moment, the pain, the loneliness, and the cold dissolve. Only warmth remains, not of the body, but of the heart. My husband would have liked this day, she says softly. But in Yakutia, resilience is something quieter. It is the simple act of waking up in a world that has forgotten the sun and still choosing to keep the fire alive.